I feel like
There we go. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
I lost my
okay.
connection to
Did you?
my power.
That's okay. I'm sure we're live right now. So,
Are we?
which is all.
Oh, we're live
Yeah,
now?
we're definitely live. We're definitely live.
My power adapter fell. I got to move it.
Well,
All right.
shame on you for not having your power adapter where it needs
I think
to
I
be.
got it. Well, I raised up my laptop. All right, I can mute myself now. Oh, I am muted. Great. Okay, welcome everybody. Yes, only a few minutes late. Do apologize yet again. Granted, I guess that's sort of now our brand. Thanks for calling it out, Will. I appreciate that.
What's up, Will?
How's everybody doing? Yeah, there's some crazy weather, crazy stuff going on all over the place, and I do hope everybody's doing well. And I know Larry and I were talking earlier about the insanity that's happening over in LA with the fires and everything. So we do hope everybody is safe and well. Wish the best for everybody out in that area as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay safe.
Yeah, it's just cold most of everywhere else at the moment, so that's not
it's
too bad.
uncharacteristically cold here. Like I don't like. We're not where I'm from. We're not this is not our thing here. Like we battle humidity and heat. We don't battle ice and snow, for crying out loud. I don't know how to act.
Gonna start to grow up, huh? And learn new things about the world.
Learn there was this thing about dripping faucets and all that kind of stuff. Like we don't do that anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. But either way, I hope everybody's good, and no disrespect, because obviously there are places in the world that don't experience that stuff, and it can be a very serious thing. So I don't mean to joke about it. I only mean to make fun of Larry, not of anything. So
per usual.
So thank you all for joining us. We got Alan in here, Ronan, me, apparently. Hi, me. Mozart's Ghost is back. Jamie and Heaven Diamond. Hey. All right, I love it.
I keep telling you it's hey. It's not what you think it is.
Sorry, I'm working on it. But yeah, so just real quick, for anybody who is new here, what are we doing? Why are we even talking about stuff, especially when it comes to Sony? Because we haven't gotten anything regarding Sony. But this is After Hour Support Extra. After Hour Support, SOS as we call it. But Larry and I do a sort of a live show just to kind of help support any of our fans or customers out there that just want to talk about Sony stuff. If you need any help, let us know. We can try to do our best to kind of help you with any Sony product that you have. Otherwise, we're just kind of chatting, hanging out, having a good time, hopefully discussing some things. And just really quickly, since we had a question before we went live, because we were late. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Alan,
and I'm in the middle of trying to do something also. So
I can tell you, your desk is all messy and you got stuff all over the place.
Yeah, but it's okay.
I remember my first day. So Alan was asking, the Sony STR AN1000 can do a phantom center speaker, correct? Correct was the question. I don't emphasize. So I don't believe it can. It does phantom rears, and I saw Ronan, you popped that in there too. That the phantom channels will work for the rear. I don't believe there's anything for the center. I did some poking around to see, and I wasn't able to find anything. Now, obviously, if you don't have a center channel speaker, there are different configurations you can do with the processing to obviously get that voice, so you're not missing it. So you might need to kind of change that. There are other features available with the center channel, but not that creates a phantom one. There is a the center channel lift up, which sort of phantomly raises the perception of where the audio is coming from for the center channel. So that maybe that's something that might have been thinking of.
Right.
I just put in there a 4.1.2 specifically. I mean, you can definitely make that work. I just don't know what the best setting would be offhand for that. That's an interesting question. You send me an email on that one if you wouldn't mind. I'm kind of curious about that, actually. I'm going to write that down. AN1000 4.1.2. Very curious about that myself, so we'll check in on that. All right, let's see. Will is back. He's set the tone right in the beginning. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yes, we are both safe, just cold, as Mozart's ghost has stated. Jamie, happy Wednesday.
I'm sorry. Let me just tell you. I'm sorry. You guys don't know all that. Shout out to our producer John. Like, we don't plan these shows. We hop on here. We talk about things that we've uncovered and all this kind of stuff. Like in the middle of and he's like, he has to guess what we're doing in the middle. Yeah, John has no clue what's going on. So in the middle of Derek buying time for me clicking away, I decided that I want to set up a whole nother stream to share another whatever. And
oh, that's what that was.
Yeah, and John is like, bro, you got to give me a heads up. My bad. So yeah. Oh, is that what I'm sharing? Oh, well, now that's what I'm sharing, but this is what I was sharing before. What happened to it?
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
All secrets revealed.
Anyway. Oh, is that why? Well, why can't I see it? Anyway. Okay. So sorry.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
Congratulations to Ronan, upgraded to a 65 Bravia 9 and loving it. That's awesome. Congratulations. Okay. That's fantastic. With 9 inches of snow in New Orleans. That's crazy.
Yes.
All right.
That is crazy.
All right, POC Angel. Oh, here we go. Let's see. What do you got about the 895? What is your opinion, with disclaimer? Okay. All right. You know how we roll. Of Sony going with a new 77-inch QD OLED, a successor of Sony A95L. You think, in your opinion, it makes sense or no because of current alternative technologies? Yeah, as requested. That's a tough one because the downside is, like, we really don't see what cost is for production on stuff. And ultimately, when it comes to a business, that's really what they need to sort of determine those things off of is does it make sense? Is it going to be relevant for the price that they could sell it for realistically with, adding the new technology? Honestly, I don't really know what the plan is going to be on that front.
Yeah, I don't either.
Obviously, it goes without saying that every year we want to see all new things in every size. That's always the dream. Unfortunately, it's just sad reality that that's not the case. But you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I do. And this is one of those moments where I'm going to say that this is just my personal opinion. I'm not speaking on any authority from Sony. So I'm glad John already prefaced it with the disclaimer. Just as long I've been with Sony for a really long time, and one of the things that I've learned about being a part of this great company is that as we evolve technology, there genuinely has to be a definitive quality difference for us to either switch hardware or to change to something. We have to do that, right? It has to be a reason why. Other companies feel as though shifting and changing and introducing new technology makes for very interesting conversation, as it does. And there is a school of thought that stimulates buying habits. Because we've introduced a new USB cable. Now everybody should go out and buy a new said USB cable. Just because it's a new cable doesn't make it better than the cable that you've had in your junk drawer for a year and a half. But and that's totally fine. I get that. Because the basis of everything we does is engineering, we have a tendency to ask ourselves, in order to utilize or introduce this new hardware element, which would then, to your point, Derek, potentially increase production costs and retail costs, is it so much better, or is it even just blankly better than what we're already doing, maximizing our hardware with the power of our processor to justify that cost? That is always at the heart of what we're doing. And so it would have to be a definitive improvement from a hardware perspective before we do so. And I don't even know, look, again, this is me continuing my soliloquy or whatever you call it in theater. It's almost like when you talk about the introduction of quantum dot, right? For the enthusiasts out there, if you take a history lesson, way back when, I don't even want to take a guess at the year, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say it was 2011. I think, maybe. John, you can fact check me. But we first, roughly 2011, 2012, we began utilizing quantum dot technology within our TVs before anybody knew what it was. It was a hardware integration that we used at the time to be able to develop a wider color gamut and to be able to deliver that. All the while in the background, engineers were working on other ways to improve color technology by way of processing, by way of panel structure, right? Whether it was 10-bit, whatever the case may be, or 8-bit. We started investing in that. When we got to this point where we could develop the same quality of color without the utilization of quantum dot, we moved past it. Now, look at how long our processing has carried us. I'll say circa 2013. It's carried us about 10 years of processing color with the different iterations of Triluminos, whether it was Triluminos Display, Triluminos Pro, to get to a point now where we've been able to now apply that non-quantum dot processing to a quantum dot hardware piece to be able to bring us to Triluminos Max that you've seen starting with I hope I can say that, A95K and A95L. But my long-winded way of saying that I don't expect us ever to be the first to jump into some new hardware technology that's out there unless we see it tested and it's like clearly this is an opportunity for us to elevate what we're doing. And then at that point, we'll introduce whatever or increase whatever utilization of it and then apply our processing to it, which will become the difference maker. I'm sure I went off topic, but my bad.
No, that was good. Honestly, I was a little tempted to just be, like when it came back, that was a little long, but that's okay. No, it was good. It was good information, but you kind of had to make up for the time that I was talking. I totally get that.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about balance,
totally
right?
Get that. Yeah, absolutely. I do want to take a moment, though, really quickly, and we'll get to some of these other questions here, I don't want to say correct the record, make a comment about something that I found. So I had an email last week after last week's show that brought me to a couple of the forums, and I was kind of perusing through, and I found a post that said something that I feel like I want to correct a little bit because I kind of like make sure that we get the record straight. So the comment was about us not checking the forums. Larry and I do not do that on a consistent basis due to the amount of stuff we have. However, I want to assure all of you that we actually have two counterparts that are also on the training team with us. That is actually what they do. Now, their main focus is the Sony community forum, which is where they spend most of their time. But they do dabble on a lot of the other forums. Granted, there's a million, so a lot of the bigger ones. And they actually have meetings with our support and service team. Is it weekly, bi-weekly? I don't know how often they have it. Twice a week? Jeez. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So in a lot of cases, we may not be part of seeing that stuff, but I want to assure you all that Sony does still get that information because it is very important because sometimes word of mouth is one of the strongest things. And I know that sometimes when a company doesn't come out and say something, hey, this is the definitive, this sort of world of people just mingling together can turn it into something crazy. So just to be assured that Sony does listen and they are looking into those stuff. Now, we're going to try to do a little bit more. I'm trying to explore some ways that I can have AI or something sort of do some of the work for me to kind of summarize things so I don't have to search for it. I'm working on it. Haven't figured it out yet, but
it's okay.
That's that. Anyway,
and I'm sure
want to share that.
I think that was my comment that started kind of that thought process. So my bad on that. We don't, but someone does.
I was the one that did say like, I don't do it. to be honest, I try to, but definitely when people share links to stuff, I'm definitely kind of looking around sort of where that kind of came from. But just want to throw that out there and share that with you guys. So we want to make sure that we are listening to as much as we possibly can. And that's kind of why we're doing this. So if you have thoughts that you want to share, let us know. You can say it here. You can send it to the email. If it's a little bit more of a longer type, you're definitely welcome to do that.
Cool.
All right.
Well said.
So let's catch up to where we are here. DS, so well read in the world of technology here. Device reports online that certify new products and Bluetooth certificates, etc., are showing a new Sony subwoofer on the site. When's it coming? Talk to me. Nope. Next question. Now, yeah. We cannot. What is it? We cannot comment on. How does that go?
We're not able to comment or confirm or discuss, confirm, or deny any unannounced or future. That's it. Dude, I used to have this. I feel like I've said it so many times. I've lost it. We don't know.
Yeah. It's. But I will say this. I'm sure it's not a surprise that Sony's working on stuff involving entertainment. I think that's a safe assumption, but details we'll have to wait and see. Midhoon, hopefully I said that right. I apologize if I didn't. Wish Sony India did something like this. We like to be trendsetters, and well, is that a thing? We're trying to listen for this. This is our intention, is to sort of show that Larry and I really do have a passion for trying to get as much information from consumers, fans, and stuff, so that we can share that with people and kind of argue a little bit of different perspective. But I would love to see everybody else do that as well. But we'll see.
But I do want to give a shout out to all of the Sony fans in India. Like, even just on our Sony Connect channel, there's a lot of love and correspondence we get from India. So I appreciate it. I will say this, with the help of you all and some of the success that we've had with our live streams, people are looking, and there are expansion. Derek and I are selfish. We just want the global platform to be able to speak on behalf of the entire world. But there are discussions about how they can bring this into different regions. So it was cool to see that, sort of where this came about is we started doing our own videos as well. And we have started to see that in quite a few different countries around the world as well. So we'll see if this catches on too. Hopefully. Hopefully. We'll see. Wiltec says, for next week's 10 p.m. show, will you have JT back or any special guest? We will be on the road again next week. We'll be back in our space. We'll be in our studio.
Right?
Yeah, we'll be in our studio.
Let's try to think of where we are, because we have some projects that we are working on. So since we're there, I don't know.
We could have JT.
We could ask him.
I'm sure JT. Yeah.
We could ask. We could try. We haven't planned that, but we haven't planned any of it yet. So I guess that's just fair. Yeah. There we go. But
but definitely JT or Trey. I'm sure we can have one of those gentlemen. As far as a special guest, aside from there, not planned, but definitely within our business structure. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah,
we can try.
Cool. Make promises. Ben Jansen, come on with the update for Europe. It is strings at Sony. Nothing to say about that. I don't have an answer, unfortunately. Being that we are US based, we are not part of that business team. So it's kind of, I need to reach through somebody who needs to reach through somebody to get to that team. And being that we're different regions, sometimes the communication is very different. I can't speak for them or on behalf of them. I do trust that they are continuing to work on making it happen. So I've seen some stuff on that same forum that I mentioned. I can't validate that any of it's 100% accurate one way or the other, but I do have a lot of faith that they are working on making that happen for the A95L, I believe was what that was about, because it always is. I wish I did have an answer, but as soon as I have something that I can share, I will. But, even when I get something that is very, I don't really know, I'm not going to even, count that as information to share. So, all right. Let's see. Everardo's in here. Welcome. Good to have you with us.
What's up, Ev?
Let's see. Ben Jansen also said Sony promise in MEI that Sony 65A95L have the same specs as the Bravia 9. They are very different TV technologies. So
are we talking about feature specs? Because I know things like voice zoom 3 and all that. I know.
Yeah, they share a lot of capabilities. But you're looking at QD OLED versus mini LED with a completely new type of backlight control with backlight master drive. So LED drivers.
100%.
Cool. But yeah, if you want to clarify that, please let us know. Let's see. Ali says, hey guys, whenever I turn 360 audio on my 7000 ES, there's a white noise hiss from the speakers. Any fix for this? You turn on 360 audio.
And that's only on 360 audio. And is it from a specific channel, or is it you're hearing it across all channels? We'll have to wait for the delay on that.
Let us know.
So we'll get back to that.
Malcolm's back. Welcome, Malcolm. Good to have you. Jamie makes a comment. Yeah, forums. We are an active, opinionated, and vocal community. Yeah, no kidding.
I love it. Yeah, that's passion, right? That's enthusiasts and passionate individuals. Look, trust me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna actually cut and paste that, because next time I get into an argument in one of our meetings, I'm gonna say, listen, I'm active, opinionated, and I'm very vocal. I may use that.
That is true. Yeah, I would add that too. Like, I love forums for a lot of the customer to customer, fan to fan support that happens, which is great. The part I don't like about it is people who are trolls, who are purposely trying to put in misinformation, or people who just don't know and put something in as fact that is incorrect. And I get it. Sometimes you have wrong information you believe to be true because you think your sources are true, but sometimes that can actually be a little bit challenging. Super delayed audio for my feed is what I'm hearing. Oh, John, fix it. Okay.
You've got one job, John. Okay, one job. Sorry, I feel playful today.
Ain't wrong. Just saying. Let's see. Danny says here, A95L in the first months of release touched 1500 nits at D65, now 1250 nits. Has it been nerfed via firmware? Can you get 1500 back? I think it depends on where that number came from, I guess. Because I know we don't actually release from Sony specific nit levels. And I know there's a lot of people that do a lot of different measurements. But there's a lot of factors that do go into that, especially window size. So I'm not exactly sure because I don't know where that came from. Any thoughts?
I was thinking, you nailed it. I was thinking, is it apples to apples? Like, is it during the calibration process utilizing CalMan at 10% window or whatever the case may be to see that comparison? Or are these two independent sources, one saying I got this, the other person saying I got that? Because those things definitely will come into play. So thanks for sharing that, though. It gives us something to definitely look into as well, though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that one. I like that. Yeah. Are there plans to add more detailed info?
Yes, we popped back. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. What's up? Let's see. Are there plans to add more detailed info to the game bar menu for the Bravia TVs? Love to see frames per second displayed in game audio output format as well. 30 frames per second game was displayed as 120 hertz. What? So, we don't know what's coming with that. And I know, Heatwave PS5 is another person that we talk to a lot. I don't know if Heatwave is on here. That's definitely, a strong supporter of the channel. And I think Heatwave brings it up 3 times a week, and we absolutely are continuing to shake that tree to see either what's in development, is it coming, when will it come? Not sure. It's definitely been communicated from California to Japan for sure.
Yep. Yeah, and it's that is kind of an interesting thing too. And I know it came up as far as 30 game was at 100 hertz. What I can glean from that and kind of like checking, I guess you could say, is if the TV, and I haven't checked this with like, Bravia 3 or something that's 60 hertz, but because the TV is running 120 hertz natively, that's what it's still displaying is 120 hertz. But I get where you're coming from, that if you drop, because if you do run VRR, it will fluctuate when you look at it. Because some of the games I've been playing lately, I get a little sluggish in some moments, but so that is an interesting thing that I think that we could explore, but we'll see what they end up doing. But feedback has been shared on that for sure. But when more people bring it up, it's always good. Let's see. Ben Jansen, we want the CEO of Sony in your show. Then he has the same like the CEO from Sonos. Let's say goodbye to him. Whoa. I'm not sure how to take that one. I think our guys are pretty cool, but I'm going to leave that one where that's at. So feel free to send us an email if you have detailed feedback on something.
Yeah. I think Derek, I think you should try to get our COO. That would be great. You should do that.
Why do I have to try to do that?
People like you more than me. You're a more likable person.
That is not that is not true. Right. Let's see. Luca has joined us too. What's up, Luca?
What's up, Luca?
Welcome.
The Audio Boy 2024. In your opinion, in a 6 meter wide room, how far would you place these speakers? I just did the conversion, so it's roughly 20 feet. Okay, so I needed to know how far. Let me see how. And we're referring to HT-A9 Mark II, or commonly known as the Quad. Depending on how your decor setup is or whatever, the sweet spot for me, separating left, right, assuming that's what we're talking about, the fronts, has been 8 to 10 feet. So mine are currently 10 feet apart, and I love it. I love it both with and without acoustic center sync. Sorry, I drew a blank there for a second. Even without utilizing my TV as my center channel, using the Theater Quad, it works very, very well, creating sort of that phantom center. Since we were talking about that earlier, it does a great job of with 360 SSM creating that phantom center, making the sound still appear, or the vocals still appear as though they're coming from the screen. So 8 to 10 feet, I can convert that. I'm sure you can, to meters, and that's what I would do. So about 3 meters is what I would have them apart.
Yeah, and obviously it can be subjective as well, and based on how many people are being sat within this space as well. If you want it more narrow, you can kind of narrow it down a little bit closer. Best thing to do is kind of, especially for the front, is try to make sure that they're equidistant from the TV. Not to go too wide, because that'll do a better job for keeping your center more centered, if you will. So just tip there. But obviously you can always try and see. But I think Larry has some personal experience with it, so it'd be a good place to start and see what you think. All right, let's see.
I see a question I like.
Oh, go for it. What you got?
I think I lost it. There it is. Ben, what's up, Ben? Okay, Ben has been firing some great questions on us. Okay, can we have on the Sony A95L HDR 10 Plus in the new sound of Google Eclipse? Okay, Google Eclipse I can't speak on. I don't have an answer on that one, but I do want to talk about HDR 10 Plus if I can. I'll give you my take on that, but I also will ask you, is there content that you're missing out on right now in HDR 10 Plus that you would like to see? That I'll ask that question, but let me explain why we have not really subscribed to HDR 10 Plus. John, put the disclaimer up because I want to make sure I'm okay. The difference between HDR 10 and HDR 10 Plus is dynamic metadata. It is frame by frame dynamic metadata provided to the TV that frame by frame or scene by scene It's able to receive information from the content to be able to display the best picture quality possible. HDR10 is a flat piece of HDR content processing that does not change. Obviously, it's static. It's not dynamic through the process. The reason why Sony has not even looked at HDR10, from my perspective, is something that we don't talk enough about. And it's the fact that our processors already do frame by frame dynamic metadata. And it's been doing that since X1 Extreme, I believe. So X1 Ultimate, X1 Extreme, X1 Ultimate, and the XR processor have already provided that. So when you feed HDR10 content to our TV, it is automatically going to apply the dynamic metadata to analyze the content on a frame by frame basis to deliver the picture quality that you're looking for. The reason why we have subscribed, if you will, to Dolby Vision is because that is a different format of HDR processing. And for that, we've decided to have that integrated into our system, which I can't go deeper into that. But the application of Dolby Vision, even in itself, is different in our TVs than most. So I think we really, as much as we talk about our processors, I think what we don't talk about is actually the power and the muscle our processors have. We just say our picture processors are great and thus give you realistic picture quality. And it's like full stop. But everything that you're watching is receiving some form of frame by frame processing. And again, going back to the differences between HDR10 and HDR10 Plus, our TV is introducing that metadata to even HDR10 content. So there isn't really a big technical need for HDR10 Plus. I know that that's not the sexy thing because it's a logo on a box that says, hey, HDR10 Plus, it's available. But yeah, that's the biggest difference. And hopefully that explains that.
And scene. Yeah. No, that was good. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have to wait. Now it'll be more of a surprise when I actually do it. No, it was a good answer though overall. And I agree. I think that's one of the things that we miss on an opportunity to really kind of explain stuff like that. And I think that's where this kind of comes in and kind of clarify that. So great questions that we don't often get to often either, that maybe we need to be more vocal about explaining to the general public, people who don't really know this stuff, as well as most of the people here, to get them better understanding of it. Let's see. Ali did answer as well. The white noise only happens when 360 is on and comes from all channels. Not sure on that one. If you
send us an email. Oh,
yes, yeah. Send us an email. It's pinned in the comments as well, and we'll see if we can follow up with that. I've not heard of that.
Yeah.
From 360 audio. That's very strange. Okay. All right, Will. Here we go. All right. I know you can't comment on Sony's future, but since you were at CES and heard about the new tech, what do you think of the new 4-layer stack revealed, and that as new TV tech in general? Your opinion? Well, I can tell you my opinion, and I don't have one yet, and I'll tell you why. I never got to leave our booth, and honestly, it was such an insane week, and I'm trying to play catch up. I know it's a thing. I know little bits about it, but I'm not really making any judgments yet, as I'm kind of focused on what we're doing in the future and trying to find out where we are going to play and what we're going to be doing this year. So I don't know. It's always cool to see new technologies, no matter who's doing it, because everything will start to help push the industry forward in one way or the other. So whatever it is, as long as it is a benefit to the consumers, I like that there's something new that's happening. What it'll do in the future, I'm not really sure. So I wish I had more to share, but Larry, you got anything on that one?
I'm trying to keep myself out of trouble. I'm trying to stay employed.
Yeah, please do.
I would just say maybe it was a necessary action to sort of make up for some of the deficiencies found. No, I'm not going to go that far. I think the technology may have been created to try to deliver on some misses that quantum dot technology is currently delivering on. Let me just say that.
Yeah, I think behind the scenes, there's going to be two things we need to kind of see what happens in the future. Is obviously see end result in picture quality once it's in mass production, of course.
Yes.
See what the cost is going to be, and then
Yes.
longevity. I don't know what any of that's going to look like yet. It's always,
Yep.
I love new tech when it comes out, but I'm always a little bit reserved and a little bit like,
Yep.
is it really going to make these leaps and bounds? And for the practical case, is it going to be something that, as CES is known for at this point, is here's this amazing technology that no one can afford except for those lucky people out there. And it's like, cool, good for them, because it's not going to be me.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Good question though.
It's exciting. I want to see it just like you, but the focus on it is other technology kind of had color roll off or washout at higher peak brightnesses or peak brightness. And that I think is the purpose of this, is to offset that deficiency. So we'll see.
I do want to quickly jump to this question from Joyce. Try to sign in to my Google email address on Sony Bravia TV model KD49X7000D. What could be the problem for not signing in? I'm assuming, obviously, password's incorrect. I don't know if you can provide a little bit more information as far as what it's doing. Like, does it, go through the process of it's signing you in and then just goes back to the login, or what it's actually doing there? If you're welcome to send us an email as well. That is pinned.
Please do, yeah.
You don't want to do a lot of back and forth. A couple of things to try. You can do a soft reset of the TV, which is just holding the power button either on the TV or the remote while it's pointed at the TV until restart pops up, or I forget how it's phrased in the D series, but something similar to that. And then you'll select restart. It'll kind of reboot everything and see if that takes care of it as well. Hopefully that will take care of it. Hopefully. But let us know. We'll do our best to support. Let's see. I did jump over. Where was it? Danny was saying the 1500 nits was 10% window. Now 1250 the same size.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I dropped Danny a chat in there.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I dropped him a comment. Yeah. I appreciated that. We'll take that back. And I told him I appreciate the follow-up and clarification. Yeah.
Let me write that down. So you got to take the next comment.
Okay.
No pressure.
Let me find one. Let's see.
People are getting bored, Larry. People are bored, losing viewers.
Yeah. Thank you. I just got to that one. Thank you, John. LBMWM3. Hi guys. I have the new 5000 ES receiver. Sometimes it literally turns, I'm assuming turns off by itself. I went through the main menu to see if it had a CEC button, but none available. Can you help me with this issue? That's an email us on that one, because that in order for us to troubleshoot that, there's going to be some back and forth on some steps, some settings, and some information, and we may even need you to take a picture of what you're seeing in the settings menu. So if you can email us on that one, let's take a look at that and see if we can help you with that, if that's okay, if you're good with that.
Nice. We'll give you a pass for being late for your well-executed explanation of HDR10 Plus. So
yes!
Annie said never knew that. Never knew that. I'm actually shocked, Will. I'm a little shocked.
We don't. You know what? I'm shocked at that also.
Seem to be on top of things. That's okay. I love it.
That just shows we don't talk about it.
What else?
Oh, is it up there? I don't know if it's
did
there.
You not? It's supposedly. Yeah, we can't see the live in real time. There's like a massive delay.
I can't either.
Yeah. John,
oh yeah.
They can't hear you.
That's true.
Let's see. MG says, any updates on the status on the other updates to improve Dolby Vision issues on the A95L? I have heard nothing regarding what is currently being worked on for future updates. So unfortunately, I have nothing to share because I do not know.
Yep, I don't either.
Let's see. Where did this go? Ben James said 65A95L, my best TV ever. I would agree with that. Same for me.
I wouldn't know, but that's
next show we do in
fine.
Dutch. I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to begin there. I cannot help you. AI could probably do it.
Want me try to do Dutch. Yeah, AI could definitely do it. I couldn't do it.
You say you have to come to Holland in Amsterdam. Or Sony has the best studio to make your audio. Okay. I would love to get out there. I'm pretty restricted to where I've been, but
let's start a petition.
Yeah, let's start to do a global travel.
A tour. Let's do a tour. Yeah. John, you don't have my extra screen available, do you?
Yeah, I want to know what your plan was.
I wanted to just. All right. Hopefully, I'll.
Whoa! You're sharing your screen.
Whoa!
Is that what it is?
Yeah. No, not that. Don't share that. Hold on, John. See, you're supposed to preview it. Now, there we go. Derek, does that look like that's right?
I mean, from what I see here, but obviously we'll see what they see in a while.
Like that.
Once it updates.
Is that better?
You got it?
You see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it?
I can see your home screen. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So something I discovered, and this technically is a did you know, because I did not know this. So I normally don't hype up Bravia Cam. And a lot of people don't, but I actually like Bravia Cam a lot. This is my home screen for my Bravia 9. So Ambient Optimization Pro, we don't talk about a lot, which of course we don't. Sure. But I'm going to show you something cool that I discovered. Okay. TV manufacturers talk about anti-reflective screen, right? Off-axis viewing and all of those things, right? And we have the same thing, and unfortunately, that's all we talk about. But if you look under this series here, and I encourage anyone that has a Bravia Cam and anyone that has a TV with Ambient Optimization Pro to check this out. Auto adjust with camera. This is something that Derek and I discovered, and Derek and I were talking about, which blew my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and share it here. Adjust for reflections, as you can see right below that. When you go to this, what this does in simplified terms is it splits the TV screen in half. Okay. And if you have ambient light or an excess of ambient light on either the right or left side of the room that's, showing on the television, that side of the TV can elevate brightness to support combating that level of light. All controlled by the Bravia Cam in support of the ambient light sensor on the television. That was something that for me was crazy because it's beyond structural or beyond a hardware layer that handles ambient light and things like that, or boosting the entire screen. It actually balances the more lit up side of the screen to give you that balanced viewing condition, despite the fact that you have sunlight beaming in on one half of the TV versus the other. Anyway, saying that to say, it was a cool kind of discovery as we spend time with our TVs. And for me, I hope, Will, you may knew that. Luca, you may have known that. Some of you guys that just are absolute brilliant minds in the chat may have known that. But as much time as I spent with my TV digging around with settings, when I came across that, I was like, what? And I thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, so there you go. I just wanted to share that just in case you guys didn't know. That's my did you know?
I think the next show is without Larry. Wow. Here I am taking notes on MG's comment over here.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, take it away.
Oh boy.
Oh, I do see my team screen. Oh, that's cool. That shows.
Yeah. Okay. MG had some good comments here on some of the stuff that they'd like a follow-up on with A95 and Bravia 9. So I will make note of those and share those as well and see. I don't know if they're going to tell me anything, but I'll see what I can find out.
Perfect.
Let's see. Doing it the old-fashioned way with a pen and Post-it note. All right. Luca's got a good question.
I'm just literally typing. Good question, Luca.
Okay, let's see. I wouldn't let the sun directly hit my TV screen. Is that safe? Are there UV filters on panels? At least the heat makes it unsafe, right? Yeah, that is an interesting one. I don't have an answer for that, and I know that there are certain times of the day. There's my TV behind me. I have a window that I can almost touch from here, and when my blinds are open, sometimes the light does get onto my TV. Now you got me all concerned. I'm sure there's a certain amount. I would agree, though, that if you are in a very hot area that has some intense sun, obviously it's in the middle of winter and it's really, really cold where I am. So I know the sun is little, like inches away, which makes a difference, like 40 degrees on Earth or something. I don't know. But a little bit cooler, but definitely one. Yep. Proud to be.
I like it. I like it.
But yeah, that is something. That's a good question. What did you find out?
Yeah, no. What's interesting is, where is it at? Let me try to get the there it is. So I have UV treated windows, and plus, per my wife, I couldn't have blackout shades because it's the front of the house. But anyway, in shades, but I also have 0 trees in front of my house, and my house sits north south, so I get direct sunlight beaming through all day, despite all those things. So whether or not, it's a great question on UV. Man, I get way more sunlight in here than I want, which is what made me kind of discover that. But yes, John.
Reminds me of
yes,
that live that you did with Eric.
Yes.
Was it Eric was like blinded halfway through the show with the sun?
Which was incredible.
That was awesome. Too soon? Why is that too soon? It was great because it didn't affect me.
Because John was the producer.
Well, producer should have been on top of that. All right, we just start wrapping. We gotta start wrapping up on this right now because I gotta get going in a couple minutes. I cannot be late to get my daughter at the bus stop. That's kind of the normal thing that kind of ends this show. I do apologize, but we were like half an hour. That's all we need is half an hour, and then it's never half an hour. I'm okay with that, but let's see. Suede Pup. Do the previous generation of Sony soundbars, HTA 5000, etc., offer full pass-through for all HDMI 2.1 gaming features, or are they leaving out certain features like VRR and SBTM?
I know the answer.
Yep. Go for it.
It's a gaming question. Of course I know the answer. Okay.
So I'm a little stunned, but go ahead.
It was a very, very big announcement we never made, really. Out of the box originally, HTA 5000, 7000, and I think AN 1000 did not have full pass-through for VR and ALLM. I believe that firmware happened. Oh my goodness. I recall having the conversation with Charlie. Now I'm doubting myself because this was last year or the year before. It was 2 years ago, I think. If I recall correctly, which we will confirm and put in here, but if I recall correctly, that firmware update happened to those bars that allowed full pass-through to support VRR and ALLM.
The one I'm not sure of is source-based tone mapping.
Oh, source-based tone mapping, I'm not sure.
I can barely tell you about the one that I just filmed like a week ago that's being edited right now. So I don't know what I do. Let's see. I just saw it. Blaze 1. When will we see a price drop on the nearly 2-year-old A95L? It's crazy that it's still $5K. Unacceptable. Well, I don't have an answer as far as when the price will drop. I don't really know what's going to happen in the future of any pricing, let alone why it is what it is. I couldn't really say for sure. I can't really say I would necessarily agree with unacceptable because I'm sure there's a business reason for it, but I get it from a customer's perspective that, we wait for these things to drop in price so that we can get these things that are sometimes a little bit out of our reach when they first come out. But yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen in the future. But I think it'd be cool to see that change. But I guess we need to see what happens this year with TVs as a whole to see what'll happen.
Yep.
No, that's not an answer. I apologize, but not sure.
It's a good not answer though.
I guess as one of the things, like I hate dancing around things.
Yeah.
But there's only two reasons that we'll do that. It's because we legit do not know, which is often the case, especially in this one. And secondly, because if I say anything, I might lose my job and then I'll be gone. And I don't want that to happen. So
I don't
most
either.
of the time, just don't know. Because we're not high up people. Like we're not we're yeah, we're lower on the totem pole, but
our badges don't get access to every floor.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I'll take Derek. I'll take MG, and I think you probably are more equipped for John's question after. MG says, also I noticed the Bravia 9 making clicking noises when in standby. OLEDs run the pixel refresh and makes the noise, but why does the Bravia 9? Does this mean mini LEDs need to power to be power all the time? Let me see. Oh, that's it. So that's a great question. I don't know the answer. My Bravia 9 does not do the clicking. I'm just trying to recall, trying to make sure. My OLED does. My A80J does. Bravia 9 doesn't. I will ask about that though. However, TVs obviously you guys know our TVs receive power at all times. So when you turn your TV off with the power remote, you're essentially just putting it into a pick off low efficiency standby mode. This allows voice command to turn the TV on and off and other features like that, right? It's what allows CEC to happen if you power on your receiver and then turns on the TV, right? It's always sort of receiving power. I will ask about the clicking because I just may not have noticed it. So not saying that it shouldn't happen.
I think part of it too is like how consistent is it? Is it doing it? Because kind of looking at some of the clicking that can happen a lot of these types of devices is the electromechanical switches that go in to trigger where power is going or not to prevent too much power from going through at one time. Sometimes, especially if your TV is doing like an update or something is changing, there's something that's actually being powered differently. So sometimes that can happen too. But if it's doing it really consistently or exceptionally loud or something like that, that might be something to look into, possibly in service maybe. But generally it's usually not an issue.
I was sending a message about that right now, just in case we get a quick response. Sorry about that. Sorry,
yeah.
Doc.
All right.
I know we're going to wrap up.
We got to wrap up here. We got this one last question, and I don't have an answer for it.
Luca, stop it.
You got to get the buzzer beater in there, right? And just like, you know what? Oh, man. I don't even know. I don't even know what we're going to do. Can you briefly discuss Sony's decision on Judd Whitepoint versus D65? Why was one selected over the other? Okay, thanks for watching.
I'm blankly staring. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just blankly staring.
That is something that we don't ever have those types of detailed discussions. But honestly, like, I want to know now. So I'm going to need to see if I can find out. The downside is that I don't know if we'll get an answer because I'm not even sure who makes that type of decision. But
let's do this. Let me send the message or kind of look something up real quick. Can you take the Theater U question?
Yes. Yes, I can.
And I'll grab this.
Yeah. So John had a great question here. The Sony Theater U neckband speakers able to make the right side slightly louder than the left side to compensate for impaired hearing, specifically in your right ear. I don't believe so, but that is a great bit of insight because of the app that it uses, the Sony Sound Connect app, which can be used for most of our headphones and earbuds. You can have some of that control. I have never tried it on my Theater U, and I don't have it in the room. So depending on what Larry says, if I can quickly run downstairs and grab mine and check, if you do have it, I don't know if this is a decision to see if you're going to buy it or not. If you have it, you can check within the Sony Sound Connect app. If not, if you're kind of thinking about it, send me an email if you could, and then I will test that when I get access to my Theater U and take a look. Worst case, I will definitely share that with the group because I think that's a really good thing that we should have available. I just don't know what needs to make it happen. Appreciate that question. Let's see. Larry, what you got?
Nothing.
Useful.
Okay. No, I don't mean that. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
I just sent the message off to see if we could get a quick response on it, but there is not a quick response regarding that. But we need to take note to discuss the differences between Judd White Point and D65. We may not be able to find out who makes that decision, but even really finding out from an engineering perspective, what are the advantages or disadvantages of both help us tell the story about why we choose one versus the other. I think, and we can aim for that for our show next week. So yeah.
There you go. And actually, as we kind of finish up here, Will, do you have a preference as to, like, I prefer D65 or you prefer Judd, and maybe why? Just, don't have to write too much, but just kind of curious from your perspective, what you think, because obviously you're probably more versed in it than I am, actually. But we'll see if we can find an answer for you. With that said, I think we got to wrap up at this point, which is pretty good timing. Give me some time to make sure I'm out there in time because it is going to be cold. So thank you, everybody, for being here and joining us. Just a reminder, too, if you are not subscribed, we are obviously accepting subscriptions from everybody. But
they're on sale for free now, right? Like we marked them down to where the subscription is free.
$3.99 without the 99. But we're actually going to be doing our what was the term? Sweepstakes for US based, right? US based.
John, when is that video going live?
Yes, when will that? When we hit our 100,000 subscriber. We have a message out about that tomorrow morning.
Release the details. Yep. Sorry, Derek.
And Mirko, firmware for A95 in Europe. We hear you. We hear you. We will pass that on, of course. I'm sure they're aware because they're probably tired of me following up, because every time I get an email or a message like, hey, what's the update? I don't know if some of those folks are in here that send me consistent emails, which I do not mind. I do not mind. Sometimes I get lost in so many things, so it's good to have follow-up. We do share that, and hopefully we'll see something soon, but do not know anything at this time. So cool. Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. Be well, be good to each other. Take care. Larry, thanks for joining me. John, wherever you are, hopefully someday you'll have a mic and you can join us as well. But I appreciate you, sir. You're in the cloud. Wow. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here again. Send us an email if you have any additional questions, or if we have not answered one that you put in today or one from a previous episode, or any other questions that you have. You can also throw something in the comments after if you're not watching this live, and we will be happy to respond. Or I should say Larry will do that because he makes me do all the emails. I guess that's kind of how it's worked out somehow. But yeah, Will, you're welcome. I appreciate you being here too. And tell our bosses we're doing a good job. Yeah, can we snip that? Can we snip that? We appreciate it too.
John said,
Yeah, he's already got that. But yeah, we do appreciate it. We're here for you guys to listen, and I get it. There sometimes are some frustrations in, I want this, I want it now, I want the updates, and I get it. I am with you. We are all with you 100%. But the more we can start to build this up, the more weight we have to say, hey, we've got this group of people. This is what they want. Let's see if we can make it happen. So we appreciate all you guys as well. So cool. Larry, close us out.
Everyone, take care. Derek has already given you the be well, but look, have some fun. Enjoy life. find some excitement, watch some great TV programming, sports, whatever the case may be, and spend time with family. Cool.
Absolutely. Cool.
All right. We'll see you later, guys. Take care.
We'll see you. Take care next time.
Peace.